Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to day 19 of 30 days of sketches. Today's sketch is by Ruth Lewandin, and you can find her on Instagram at Ruth Lewandin, and I'll put her link down below in my description box. This is also a some assemblage required video, so I am going to be using some products from the someassemblagerequired.com shop, and I'll put links to those down below also in case you're interested in that. I'm going to start out with a new stamp set from Heidi Swapp. This came out in February, and it is huge, huge alphas, and I love them. This will be the second time that I'm using them, and it's going to take the place of that long title in a big font. So my title is going to be in a big font, but it's not going to be as long as what her title is. It's just going to be 3 words, one cute guy. And I'm starting with the word cute so I can get that centered on the page, and I'm just using the grid from my glass mat to line up my letters on my acrylic block. So not really concerned with them being centered on the acrylic block, more concerned about them being aligned left to right with each other and spaced somewhat evenly between the letters. And then I'm going to take them over to my paper. Now my letters are about 3 inches tall. Yeah, 3 inches tall. And so what I did was I measured off to about 6 inches on my page so that I could find the center point. And then I moved my centering ruler down by 1.5 inches so that when I place my 3-inch letters down, the middle of the 3-inch letters will be at this approximate 6-inch mark. So I'm using my T-square ruler and my glass mat to find those points. So the glass mat is aligned with the bottom of the glass mat, and I can see where my lines go across. And that tool there that I'm using is actually from Some Assemblage Required. It is, I don't know what it's called. It's to press down on the stamps so that you can kind of rub the back of them to make sure you get a good impression. Now my C didn't get a good impression. It wasn't the tool's fault. It was because I didn't have enough ink on it. And in fact, I had to ink it up twice more to make sure I had enough ink on it. I'm just using some Ranger archival ink. I probably need to use a little re-inker on my ink pad, but all in all, it worked out great. That tool is awesome. Also, the stamps are, kind of sticky enough that when I lift up the stamp, it takes the whole paper with it, which is great for this because I could flip it over and use that tool on the bottom of my paper as well to make sure I get nice, good pressure over each letter in my stamp set. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the top word 1, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, only rather than measuring 1.5 inches up from the center, I am just giving myself about 1/8 of an inch above the word cute, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp the word 1, and I'm going to use the exact same technique to do that. If you're wondering about those white things on my desk, those are magnets. My glass mat is magnetic. It's from Glassboard Studio, and you can order it magnetic or non-magnetic. I love it that it's magnetic because I use it for this purpose. I also use it to hold my stencils in place, and it just works wonderfully. So also easy to clean up with any mixed media that you might be using. It's just perfect, and I love that you can get different colors or different designs. They do a different design each month. The design on my glass mat is from last fall, maybe I think September, and so it's only good for 1 month, that design, but they do have some standard ones in stock, and then they change it every month. So go and check that out if that's of interest to you. I'll put a link down below for that as well. Doing the same technique here with the word guy. I know it's a lot for you guys to sit here and watch just stamping a few things, but I know some people get really interested in how I align my stamps, or, it's kind of risky to stamp right on your background, especially when you're trying to align stuff. With mixed media, it's not such a big deal because a lot of times your mixed media is getting covered up and it doesn't really matter so much. It's not as important. But when you're trying to be precise in aligning stuff, it does make a big difference. And I want to make sure that I get really good coverage. I don't have a Memory Misty, which is like the 12-inch wide stamping platform. I just have a small one or medium-sized one for card making. And, you know, it might be beneficial to someday get the big one, but I don't stamp that often on my backgrounds like this, where they have to be perfectly aligned. So I feel like this tool does a great job that MK has come out with for kind of rubbing the stamp down onto your layout, and then using my T-square ruler and the fact that the stamps are a little sticky is super helpful. So now I've pulled out some stuff from Minte's garage collection. I have a lot of this ephemera left over, a lot of these cards. Again, trying to work through using some 3x4 cards. This also had an envelope pack with it. I'm trying to use that up. I just cut off the tabs or the sides that you would fold in to make the envelope, and I'm using the paper portion of it. I'm actually going to use those little sides as well to be kind of like tabs on a file folder, and just kind of layering these up. Now these 3 photos are of my niece's little guy. These are his 4-month photos. I do want to use that wood veneer piece that says 4 months on it. That's from MK's shop, and I think it's super cute. I've been using these for his milestones for each month, and so I want to continue with that. So that's really important for me to get that on there, and you're going to see me kind of struggle with it a little bit once I choose what the other pieces that I want, just finding the placement for it. But all in all, at the end of the day, I really like how it looked. So this card, I ended up cutting it in half because I cut it just about, I don't know, a 1/16 of an inch short, and so I wanted to make sure it fit well and matched the other ones, and so I went ahead and trimmed it, even though I think at the end of the day it is not going to matter because it's going to get covered up. But I also want to cover up that guitar. I don't need that to show, but I do like that this paper is just like a black jean type paper, and it's very neutral, very masculine for a boy, matches really well with what he's wearing. He's got these dark grayish charcoaly black pants on, and same with the plaid in his shirt. So the color was just the right color for that. So now I'm just kind of going with a bit of a wonky placement for my photos, which is not very much like me. I usually like things really lined up, but in this particular case, I think it would look funny all stacked. So I'm going to go with this wonky setup, and I like it a lot more. I did think I was going to use these trucks and tractors on this layout. Those are from MK's shop, and they are super cute, but they're not going to make the cut. I'm going to switch over to this other set, which has some smaller ones in it. Now I know that excavator is not smaller, but the one up by the top photo is smaller, and that's what I was really looking for, was something to fit in that space. So I'm going with these ones. I'm removing the masking off the top of them. That masking just protects the wood veneer when she cuts it, so that it doesn't scorch at all. And then I am just trying to figure out how to fit that 4 months, and I was thinking maybe it would hang from the crane looking piece, but I didn't. The way the crane hangs down, the bottom track of the crane kind of sticks out as far as the hook does, and so I didn't really know what to do with my string if I used it. So I am going to just kind of leave it and figure out what I'm going to do with that piece after. I really just didn't know. I did move it around quite a bit and try to figure out what to do with it. I cut some of that out because it was quite a bit of just hemming and hawing and trying to figure it out. Eventually it is going to hang from the excavator, and I think it looks really cute at the end of the day when all is said and done and I finally figure it out. So this other little backhoe piece is going up by his little head, and I'm adding a tab and a couple of a tab and a tag. So hopefully I said that right. A tag and a tab up there to give a couple of extra layers, and I like how that's looking. This little piece I'm going to have hanging off the edge. I like the way that the little bracketed corner kind of hugs the C, and the cutoff piece I'm going to reuse down in my third little embellishment cluster. I'm somewhat kind of following what she's got, only a bit, well, everything is in reverse. So my photos are on the opposite side, and then my my cluster is going to go off the left-hand page instead of over one. Well, it is actually going to go over one of the letters as well. So I guess it is pretty close to what she's got going on. And then I did ink up my papers and my entire background paper with some black soot distress ink just to give added dimension. And I really like how that's looking. Again, here I'm playing with this 4 months. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, hemming and hawing and trying to figure it out, you guys. That's when I decided, you know what, it could hang off of the excavator and it would look really cute. So I'm just using some of this linen thread from Close to My Heart, and I just basically wound it around the excavator, and I'm going to use a little dimensional foam behind my little 4-month piece here because that little piece of thread needs a little bit of support under each side, otherwise it wobbles back and forth. And that is it, you guys, keeping it really simple. It already had the little white mixed media on there, so I didn't have to worry about that. And I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget that there is a playlist down below so that you can check out everyone else playing along with 30 Days of Sketches. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. Thanks so much for watching and spending time with me today, you guys. I really appreciate it. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video, so I'll see you then. Bye-bye.